9 seasons ago, these two teams face up for the first time ever tonight. It's the 17th time these two share the field and go head-to-head. It's the Jacksonville Kings visiting the Florida Storm here in the I. Florida has won 8 straight in this matchup, but can Jacksonville flip that narrative? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Week 6 of the SFL. I am Mark Lopez, and joining me in this booth as my analyst, the ever-great Wade Phillips. And the stats truck are Ron Hayes and Rochelle Colston, and as always, the game is produced by Cameron Irvine. Wade, this is the so-called El Clasico matchups of the league. What are you looking forward to this game?
Well, I'm looking forward to see if Jacksonville can really slow down Bullet Bolesky, because he's really been on a tear this season, and really if they can do that and stop Ron Cochran from just having his way with the defensive backs, if they can put pressure on him, maybe force an interception here or there, but if they can do that, they have a chance. But Florida is riding high on and 4-0 right now at this point in the season, and they are looking to continue their domination.
They're definitely riding high. Tonight, they're looking like they're swimming high with their very nice blue uniforms. Very unique indeed. Florida, off of the coin flip, will get the coin their way and will kick the ball, or will receive the ball. So who will come out on top on this very long-lived matchup? We shall see. As the game will get underway, here comes Jacksonville to kick the ball off, and the game is on. Florida, receiving, will let the ball fall into the end zone, and that's going to start the game for them. They're going to bring out their offense and start in their 20-yard line. An interesting matchup history between these two teams. They've faced each other so many times, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well, a total of 17 times, 3 of which were in the playoffs. The first play of this game, under 20, on Cochran is under center. They roll out the I formation with 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. First play is a pitch to Bolesky. Bolesky gets a couple yards, gets slowed down before getting tackled. What a great start, or at least kind of start that Jacksonville would want to see defensively against Bolesky.
Absolutely. The defense stayed home, maintained their assignment, and got the stop, and now it's a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9. Similar formation I with the receivers on the right side instead. A short toss to Bolesky. He breaks 1 tackle, and that's all he needed to get first down and a lot more. 1st and 10, and Bolesky slowed down 1 time, not slowed down the 2nd time. He goes for a huge run.
That's right, and it took multiple people to bring him down. Breaks his 1st tackle right there, goes through the 2nd tackle right there, and then that 3rd tackle gets him, brings him down, but at that point he had already gotten a 1st down and maintained a threat on the ground.
And the threat is definitely there in him alone. We'll talk about how Ron Cochran, who did not have Bolesky much of last week, he carried the game that week. He is under center, and he will look to pass. Cochran looks middle, throws short. It's only a 1-yard gain. That's to Stephen Bush. Let us introduce you to this offense. Ron Cochran, you saw making that play. He's a quarterback. Charlie Bolesky is star halfback. JW is the fullback. Your wide receivers are Stephen Bush, Caleb Giffis, Art Vendela, and E.J. Minson. Your tight ends are Veridin Zarkov and Ron Haynes. And your tackles, Joseph Wade, Greg McDonaldson. Center, put him on day back. 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff to Bolesky. Bolesky untouched for 6-7 yards before being tackled after a gain of 8.
And right there, Jacksonville looked a little soft in the middle, and we'll see if the Florida Storm can really take advantage of that. If they see that all day, we could be in for a long one for Jacksonville.
And out of the I formation, about 4 plays in a row for Ron Cochran and crew. 3rd and 2. Near the midfield, they're going to push a JW Doyle. That's a Doyle that's at the other fullback all the way to the line. Doyle will be the one to get the pitch, and Doyle gets the 1st down. So good play by Florida, switching things up and getting the 1st down that way.
Indeed, and that time Greg McDonaldson was out there looking for someone to block, got it, and they pick up the 1st down off that block.
First and 10 once again as Florida keeps rolling in this first drive. Good start from them offensively. We're going to shift Doyle from right to left. Cochran will look to pass. Cochran will find Beletsky. Beletsky rumbling forward. Will he get there? He does. He gets a first down. And Wade, the individual effort by Beletsky, definitely powered by blocking, but he just takes things to the next level.
Absolutely. He took the great blocking on the swing pass right there. Great block right there by the receiver. And then on his own, picks up the extra yardage on the momentum and picks up the first down. Great play by Bullet Bolesky and this blocking crew.
Now, Bolesky only had a grand total of 81 rushing yards last week. He got injured in the middle of the game. That was when Ron Cochran took over. We'll see Ron Cochran here taking over with the pass to Bolesky. That is not a huge gain for them. It is only 1 yard line. But Ron Cochran, Wade, like we can talk about how Bolesky has taken center stage, but if you need to call his number, Ron Cochran could deliver. He did last week.
Absolutely. Just that just accuracy and quarterback percentage is amazing.
So 2nd and 9, we are getting closer and closer to Jacksonville. They have showed little resistance defensively so far. Cochran once again about an 5-step step back. Oh, and that's going to look like it's a defensive pass interference penalty. And it will be. It did look like that, Wade.
Yeah, it looked like just got there just a fraction too early. Didn't let the receiver have a chance at it. Yeah, just got there a little bit too early. And unfortunately, that infraction brings up a first down for him. So Florida really taking advantage of anything they can get, and Jacksonville coming apart just a little bit. If they can pull it around and come up strong, maybe they can limit it to maybe a field goal or get a takeaway.
Perhaps so. That was John Patrick Levine on the pass interference. And so another 1st and 10. Nearing the red zone, Cochran will pitch it. That is to Bolesky. Bolesky breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, will not break a 3rd. And in as much as a lot of these halfbacks throughout the league have been breaking tackles, really those initial hits are what slowed them enough to make the eventual big tackle for no gain.
You're absolutely right. Those tackles, those broken tackles, while they don't get them down, slows them down just enough to get everybody out there and bring them down.
So here we're going 2nd and 10. Cochran, deep step back. Here comes pressure, but he gets the ball away, and great defense overall in that one play as the ball is deflected by Roy Towers.
Yeah, great job by the rookie. Got in there, got a mid on it, and thought, if maybe can bring that down and go the other way. They're in this drive with no damage and swing that momentum the other way, but unfortunately take the pass deflection and get a 3rd down right here.
3rd and 10 is the first 3rd and long that Ron Cochran and crew will face tonight. He's got 4 wide receivers out on the field. Ron Cochran looking to pass, fakes a pass. That gave enough time for a defender to sack him. That was Nathan Nerd, the quarterback of all people, coming up with a sack.
And they needed that. That was an absolutely huge play to get that secondary sack right there. And Jacksonville played big right there, got the sack, stops this drive, and maybe forces just a field goal right here, and which is, a win for them, considering that Florida was just marching down this field and Jacksonville played big, got the stop, and now they force a field goal attempt.
A 47-yard field goal. So they send out Ethan Sneed for the long attempt. That attempt is good. What a kick by him to cap up a solid drive, 11-play, 48-yard drive. And Wade, so far offensively for the Storm, a lot of things clicking for them.
Absolutely. They didn't hit pay dirt right there, but, you can't really get a touchdown on every drive, but hey, they'll take 3 points. And a lot of things, like you said, were clicking right there in the run game and the pass game, so they have something to build on.
And with that, Jacksonville will get their first chance at the ball, having their offense down the field after this kickoff. They're going to return it all the way to the 31-yard line. Solid return by Beasley. We're going to take a look at your offense of the visiting Jacksonville Kings. With Jacksonville on the road, this matchup has been a lot of times mostly at the home of Florida. Jacksonville being at the losing side of a lot of those games on home turf for Florida. So we'll see if they can flip the script here. Here comes their first play of the game with O.J. Bruin, 5-season player for Jacksonville, under center. Bruin taking his time. Will finally pitch the ball. Here comes a nice, it's only a 1-yard gain. It's a nice tackle by Florida. Sends that to a stop.
And that was Leon Thunderman and Ryan Tobin on that tackle, brought him down. And they really are a great linebacking core. This defense is really phenomenal. And so Jacksonville's going to have a tough time tonight, but they have the potential to do it.
Defense definitely solid overall, but here comes a nice pass by O.J. Bruin. What a good, solid first pass by him as he finds his receiver, Connor Weston, for a first down, a huge first down.
And that's something about Jacksonville's receiving unit. They only have one person, that's David Gears, at 6 foot. The rest are 6'4", 6'5", and 6'5". So really tall targets out there to really go up and get the ball. And so Florida's going to have to do a lot of work to climb that ladder and knock these balls down.
O.J. Bruin himself is 6'6", so he's tall as well. But this will be a pitch to Sean Sanders. Sean Sanders gets 4 yards. And as he gets tackled, we'll introduce you to Jacksonville Kings offense. Quarterback is O.J. Bruin, who is the quarterback for the day. Sean Sanders and Shepard Vakarian are the halfbacks. Jay Ballmer, the fullback. Wide receivers, David Gears, Joe Beasley, Kingston Ellington, and Connor Weston, who made that nice catch earlier. Tight ends are Jim Copeland Jr. and Talon Steele. Your tackle is Brandon Ryan, and your guard is Marcella Martin. 2nd and 6, and the handoff this time will go to Shepard Vakarian. He gets the second carry of the game, but not a lot of gain there. Once again, Florida's defense holding strong.
Yeah, they were not fooled on that play. Jesus Smith right there flew to the ball and brought him down for a bit of a loss, and now it forces a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, split back formation as Bruin will step back. Bruin finds a man, and Bruin will find Ballmer for another first down. So despite 2 solid defensive stops against the run play, Jacksonville converts in another pass.
Yeah, Jacksonville is not being deterred by those great plays by Florida, but they continue to chip away, and now it looks like they're just going to kind of involve all their backfield in this day.
O.J. Bruin had 3 touchdowns in their last week's loss. He did throw 4 interceptions that night, but so far 2 for 2 in this evening. He will give this ball off to Sean Sanders. Sean Sanders, solid running, at least in a couple of plays he's seen him today. That one play, he gets 7 yards.
Yeah, and they really kind of lean on this entire backfield. Both running backs get quite a bit of the ball, and really Sean Sanders right there picked up a hefty chunk for 7 yards.
And they will line up for a potential run play out of the I formation, and they will the handoff to Shepard Vakarian, and he gets enough yardage for another first down.
Yeah, and that time there was all the room in the world to run. Just had a few defenders in front of him, but hey, had enough to pick up the first down, and looked like if he could have broken that tackle, he could have been off for quite a few more yards.
Definitely could have broken away. They are 25 yards away from the other end zone. So they are knocking on the door of the red zone. Jacksonville takes their time, but here comes Bruin. Bruin, the deep step back. Oh, we'll find the man. What a throw, as the quarterback or the safety was just standing there looking like he was busy in his mind and does nothing to make the play happen.
Yeah, and that was Talon Steele out there. It looked just like a little lob right there. Went to Talon Steele, picked up 9, but that was really close to getting a first down and putting him even closer to the goal line.
That was Evan Carroll, who was unable to act on the play coming his way. This time another handoff to Vakarian, and Vakarian once again, very solid running by Vakarian, the rookie halfback. He had a solid stint in the minor league, called a lot of his games solid running from him, and even in this game, proving that he's a first down machine. The 1st and 10, care of the Vicarian carry. Here comes OJ Bruin on the rollout, rolls to his right, throws to his right, finds his man on his right. That is a touchdown. A nice pass to Tim Copeland Jr.
Yeah, Jim Copeland Jr. got out there open right where he was the only one that could catch that ball. The rollout on the play by OJ Bruin finds Copeland, and that was the first touchdown of the day that puts them ahead. We'll see pending the point after, but how about that? Jacksonville on the front foot gets ahead with the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of getting ahead, this Jacksonville team, we saw that nice touchdown. They're leading the league in passing touchdowns. OJ Bruin delivering another punch in passing as that extra point goes in. And that's going to cap the drive. What an incredible drive from them. Not a lot to say. Not enough good things to say. That was a 10-play, 69-yard drive. 4 for 4 for OJ Bruin on that drive for 49 passing yards. Thank you once again to our statisticians, Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston, helping us out, make this broadcast special for everyone. As Jacksonville will kick the ball back. And once again, for the second time, Florida will let that ball go to the end zone, and they'll start in their 20-yard line. Another interesting factoid about this matchup is how much Florida just has been dominating on the win side.
Oh yeah, they've been absolutely just blowing away the league, and it's just been see if anybody can stop them. We'll see if they can tonight.
The most winningest team, as this pass to Bileski will get 5 yards. So nice pass by Bileski. The most winningest team with the most wins in the league is Florida. 12 of those wins overall are against, Jacksonville. So Jacksonville really, they have had a taste of losing so many times to Florida, and they want to flip the script on that one in this game. They've faced them twice in the championship, lost twice. Trying to flip the script here with the lead. Bileski, though, will have another say in the matters as he breaks 2 tackles. Bileski, there he goes. Bileski with another huge first down. And I think Jacksonville still has a huge question to answer in Bileski.
They do, because if Florida's seeing what we're seeing and the success they're having in the run game with just broken tackles, they've got to be just looking to run it as much as they can until Jacksonville can stop them, because Jacksonville just has to get more defenders on the ball to get stops, because they're just getting their broken tackles too much.
With too many broken tackles, they're lining up in another potential run play with only 2 wide receivers to the left. Here comes the pitch to Bileski. Didn't get enough blocks around the edge as the cornerbacks were able to feel him, to hit him. And that's only a 2-yard gain, but we will be back after this update.
Thank you, Mark. The Portland Fleet in San Diego today boats first plane. San Diego takes some terrible angles on Ezekiel Love, and Love is off to the races. 21-3, Portland all over San Diego in the first half. Back to you guys as Bileski continues his journey down the field.
Thank you, Cam. And yeah, you're right. We just saw there Bileski making another huge play as the first quarter with that play. We'll see one replay of this. Bileski, what a run from him, breaks another tackle, picks up the first down, and with that alone, we will see the end of the first quarter with Florida behind down 3-7, but they are marching down the field looking to put more points on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Simulation Football League. If you're new to the SFL, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars. It's never too late to get involved. Well, now another 1st and 10, another handoff to Bileski, and another rumbling and tumbling by him. This time, though, the defense was able to limit him to 3 yards.
Absolutely right there. Jacksonville did enough to bring him down with only 3 yards gained, but they were able to really fly enough defenders over there to cause enough trouble to bring him down. But really, Jacksonville has to do better to just get as many defenders around the ball as possible.
Well, we have another quite heavy set out of this formation, 2nd and 7. Will do nothing as the defense of Jacksonville holds strong. They don't allow any yards out of that play. That play was, in fact, handed off to J.W. Doyle.
And right there, the defensive line got wins along the line, and that gave nowhere for J.W. Doyle to run. And so a win right there by the D-line.
So now Cochran will take matters into his own hands, but no, the defense gets home to him. And what a sack by Jacksonville. That's Nathan Durr on another huge play in back-to-back drives.
Right, and that was his 2nd sack of the day. He got one on that first drive, so that's another sack for him on 3rd down to force a 4th down and make the special teams unit get out there and play a little bit.
So a solid, an incredible defensive stand by Jacksonville will force Florida to punt. This punt is looking good, and look at where they start, just about their 10-yard line, it seems like. Maybe the 14-yard line, so they'll say they'll start at the 14-yard line. Solid punting. Jacksonville will have to go down the field for 86 yards. We'll see if they can replicate their success in their first drive. 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. 1st and 10 in their 14. Bruin under center in the I formation. Bruin will look to pass after short step back. Bruin, that pass will get deflected. That was Evan Carroll on the deflection. We haven't introduced yet to the defenses of both teams. So here is the Florida defense. Defensive linemen are Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tomaello, Alex Dominguez, Pete Mitchell. Linebackers are Leon Thunderman, Jesus Smith, and Ryan Tobin. Cornerbacks are Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, and Adam Jones. And your safeties are Roscoe Jenkins, Adrian Blaine, Andrew Francis, and J.J. Bailey. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion, the handoff will go to Sean Sanders, and Sean Sanders will be able to pick up 4 yards down the middle.
And the thing about the Jacksonville running backs is they've got 2 styles. They've got Shepard Vicarian, who's 6'2", 229, and then you've got Sean Sanders, who's 5'7", 220. So a little bit different look that both of these running backs bring each time they're in.
Absolutely. Got one probably a finesse runner, the other power runner, so they can definitely offer different looks against this defense. But that hit will force a bad pass out of OJ Bruin, and that hit will also force a 4th down, and Florida themselves showing a defensive stop against Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it looks like Florida's defense got a little offended on that first drive when they gave up that touchdown and really took it out on Jacksonville's offense on that drive. And now Jacksonville has to punt from kind of the shadow of their own end zone. So we'll see how far they can pin them back.
Fortunately, not yet in the end zone, but this punt will stop inside their 47. So for all intents and purposes, it feels like Florida almost moved the ball forward just about a couple yards from where they punted last time. So they will start in Jacksonville's 47. And once again, Ron Cochran and Bilecki and the gang will trot out on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2nd quarter. You're watching Jacksonville against Florida. Ron Cochran will throw the ball sidearm for a short pass down the middle. That's a good gain of 5 yards. That's Art Vandelay on that nice catch.
And it looked like just a little, like a hot route or something that picked up enough to get 5. And really, Florida did a good job just to complete the pass, keep the ball rolling, and see what they can do on 2nd down.
Vandelay had the only passing or catching touchdown last week from Ron Cochran in Ron Cochran's 330-yard performance last week. But Cochran will hand the ball off to Bilecki, will do a swim move across the front line, but not the second line of defense against Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's defense stays strong right there and forced the 3rd and 3, 3rd and short. So if this defense can stay strong, no harm done, and Florida might have to punt it away again.
And we'll see if they can force a punt. Ron Cochran, though, will not. Instead, it's not a punt. It's an interception. His 2nd of the season in Jacksonville comes away with a key turnover in the 2nd quarter.
The 9-season veteran, Alex Bond, right there, gets the interception and was just right there. There are 2 Jacksonville defenders right in front of the receiver. And so I don't really know what Ron Cochran was looking for on that play, but either way, threw it. And then Alex Bond takes it, and now Jacksonville right back at it and has better field position than they did before they punted it.
That is absolutely correct. They are now at their 35-yard line. Jacksonville with a momentum-shifting turnover early on in this game. Here comes the OG Bruin, still waiting for the play to happen. Will pitch the ball off. Sanders trying to find room. Sanders breaks one tackle. Will push through. Will he get there? He almost does. It's second in inches. They'll say he's just short of the first down, but boy, what an effort by Sanders.
Absolutely, the finesse on that spin move. The block right there was great by Jim Copeland Jr. 2 blocks right there. Sheds it and then picks up another one right there. Springs him to pick up that, extra, 4 or 5 yards that puts it second in inches. So great play by Jacksonville's offense right there to spring him for 9 yards.
Second in inches. About under 7 minutes to go in the first half. They're going to have to pull a very heavy set in the I formation. Here comes a handoff. That's Vakarian. Vakarian breaks one tackle. That's what he needed. He gets the first down. They're not stopping him yet. They say he's still inbounds. Finally pushed out of bounds and put that on a highlight reel as Vakarian picks a first down. Speaking of highlights, for all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, our present, and our future. But boy, if Vakarian just stayed inbounds, I'm surprised he was able to stay inbound.
Yeah, absolutely. That agility was great right there to kind of ballet around that sideline and stay in.
Under the I formation with 3 wide receivers out there. Here comes Sanders with a pitch to him. Sanders, wow, he's just dragging a man 4 or 5 inches taller than him, maybe 10, 20 pounds heavier than him.
Absolutely. Playing much larger than the frame shows, but right there carried someone, like you said, much larger, carried him for a few more yards after contact. So really getting this 2-headed monster going.
Well, he was actually carrying Ryan Davidson, who's in fact 15 pounds lighter. So maybe that could have helped that. But here's another hand up to Vakarian. Vakarian, oh boy, what a rumble by him. Sheds up one of the potential tacklers as Martin helps him up. Another play by Vakarian, and just the 2-man look of Vakarian or Sanders to get one, speedy player and then one strong player, that just showing so many looks for Florida to try to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. A little thunder and lightning combination is really looking great so far.
Thunder and lightning against the Storm. The Storm will have to find the answer, and they will, as they smother Sanders behind the line of scrimmage. They're able to force a 1-yard loss on that play.
Yeah, nothing happening right there, but the defense did a great job winning at the line of scrimmage and forcing the loss on the play. And now Florida's defense needs to hunker down and get a win right here.
Here comes in 3rd down. Bruin will look to pass. Bruin throws a slightly underthrown pass that is deflected. Could have been intercepted. I believe that was Adrian Blaine on that pass deflection. And if it was, she made a great play on that one, and that will force, it's not yet a 4th down, but that will definitely force 3rd and 11, put the pressure on the passing game as they bring out the quad formation, 4 wide receivers on each side. They're going to switch or shift David Gears from the right side to the left and overload that side potentially. Florida answers by having their 3 defenders that side. Oh, the rollout rolls out into defenders, and no, that pass is picked. That was deflected and then gathered and then brought back home by Andrew Francis.
And right there on that play, it looked like the safeties were blitzing, and that freed up the secondary. But right there, Andrew Francis is in the path of the ball, tips it up in the air, tip drill, right there. Stays on it, catches it, tip, brings it in, picks up a few extra yards, but right there, the running back brings him down. But great job by Florida's defense. Got a little mini victory right there on that drive, and now they've got it on their own 19-yard line.
I don't know, Wade. That's much more than a mini victory. To me, it's a turnover in almost your red zone. Look, they're about on the 20-yard line as they made their interception. A huge win for that defense. But Florida will still need to convert on that turnover and take the most out of it, make the most out of it. Here comes Florida. This is a short pass all the way to, or not all the way, but it is a short pass to Beletsky. But Beletsky will be tackled for only a short gain by Nathan Nur. Nathan Nur, we've called his name so many times this afternoon.
We have, and he's just been playing lights out today. Got it right there. They read it perfectly. Only allowed 2 yards on the gain, but really just phenomenal defense on that play to stop him.
Nathan Nur will have to introduce the Jacksonville defense after this play, as 2nd and 8 is what Alaska or Florida is trying to do. 2nd and 8, that pass, and no! Ron Cochran only had 1 interception in 4 games, and this first half alone, he already has 2, but we'll see the flag. This could be pass interference, and it is. Oh, the pass interference turns things around. Florida thought they threw the ball away, or at least Jacksonville thought they took the ball away. We'll see where it happens. Oh, I don't know, Wade. That was more of a bang play more than anything.
Yeah, maybe he hit him before the defender got the ball, so maybe that's where it was. I mean, something had to have happened, and so I think, yeah, maybe just got to him a little early before the defender got the hand on it.
Unfortunately for Jacksonville, instead of a turnover, it becomes a first down for Florida and moves them upfield. Here comes Beletsky as he vaults over 1 defender before being brought down by 2. Here are your Jacksonville Kings defense. The linemen are Taquan Hale, Forrest Dalton, Joey Schwint, and Logan Gardner. Your linebacker, Jen Martin. They got cornerbacks, Toby Nur, Nathan Nur, that's star player of the evening, and Roy Towers. Your safeties are Yung Vaught, Bernard Gooden, John Patrick Levine, Tiga Clay, and Alex Bond. And boy, what a tackle on Beletsky. Guess who it is? It's number 29, Alex Bond, just as I call his name, making the tackle for only a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, they look like they brought a little pressure from the secondary on that. Alex Bond got in there fast and just got to the ball carrier, brought him down, and now forces a 3rd and 8. So we'll see what Florida can try to do on this play.
3rd and 8. Cochran sends out 3 wide receivers to his right and 1 to his left. He's looking for a deep pass, and he's not going to find his man as that play was well into coverage. Number 24, Tiga Clay amongst those protecting that part of the airspace.
And on that play, it just looked like Ron Cochran threw it into traffic. There were too much congestion over there, and luckily for them, it was knocked down harmlessly. But really, Ron Cochran has just been a little bit shaken up today and just hasn't been himself. So we'll see if maybe it's just that they're not being able to have as much efficiency on the ground. Maybe that's why, but we'll see if it rights the ship later in the game.
Well, this punt, the punt will be returned by Beasley all the way to the 30-yard line. There's only about 2 minutes, 55 seconds left in the ball game before halftime comes. Meanwhile, on the other game, that game has reached halftime, and Portland on a massive lead, 28-6 against San Diego. So that game is looking like it's going to be under wraps really quickly unless San Diego changes things around. This game, we'll see if Florida's defense themselves can change things around. They have the offense has yet to answer besides the 3 points they put up earlier in the first. Jacksonville, 1st and 10, their 30-yard line. OJ Bruin, deep step back. Deep step back. They got home. They sent way more than 4, and 3 got to Bruin.
Yeah, Pete Mitchell got there. Looked like just too much rush and not enough protection right there, and just couldn't find anybody downfield. Just didn't have enough time. That's what happens when you've got this great Florida defense just getting to the ball and causing havoc all over the field.
Absolutely. I mean, Florida, they're always known for their front line. Starring Alex Dominguez, a Hall of Famer, and almost everyone got home to Bruin. But they're going to try again with 2nd and 19. That was a huge loss from the sack. Bruin, what are you going to do? It's another medium step back. He's going to heave a throw. That throw is no good as number 82 was well defended on that play. Unfortunately, the target, Kingston Ellington, couldn't come away with the pass.
Yeah, and the 6'5" target just couldn't quite catch it, but they're going to continue to try to target that deep play on this drive since they're, 3rd and 19, but we'll see if they can get it in this bunch set.
We'll see absolutely if Florida can take their defense off the field and a fake handoff. That is once again a sack. Oh boy, what a hit. And I don't know how O.J. Bruin could have gotten up from that one.
Right, and it looked like Adrian Blaine got that sack. No, excuse me, that was 98. Alessandro Tomaello got the sack right there. Just O.J. Bruin didn't have anywhere to go with it, it looked like, and they got to him fast. And just when you don't have any time to throw, it's really hard to find a receiver.
Wait, help me do the math here, because Alessandro Tomaello, I'm looking at his physicals. He's 280 pounds. And you're O.J. Bruin, you weigh 220 pounds. You got a 60-pound advantage, and he was like a meteor against O.J. Bruin's frame. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, oof.
And, well, Florida will make the most out of that hurt, and themselves will try to put into hurt. They haven't yet so far. They only have 3 points on the board with under 2 minutes left in this first half. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're liking this game so far, hit that like button, smash that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year, and there's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of the SFL or SFLM. And if you don't miss a minute, you won't be able to miss that tackle for loss against Biletsky. Very rare tackle for loss from such a great running back.
Yeah, absolutely. And right there was Alex Bond on the tackle for loss. And this Jacksonville defense came to play so far today. And we'll see if, in the second half, Florida can get something going. We'll see if they can finish off this half strong and maybe get a touchdown.
They are looking for a touchdown. Ron Cochran is looking deep. Well, he will find his man. That is Ron Haynes playing as a tight end, doing double duty as a stats person, and he gets about, if my math serves me right, about a 1 yard gain on that play. Sorry, not a 1 yard, a 5 yard gain. Wait, sometimes what's in my mind and what comes out my mouth don't quite match. Here's the... Oh, it's a fake handoff. I thought it was a handoff. Ron Cochran rolls out. Ron Cochran, he finds his man. He's in for a touchdown. Stephen Bush, where were you all this time?
Yeah, wow, just got way back there. Looked like maybe the defender went for the interception or something, took an angle, bad angle, but let's see what happens right here. So he goes on this corner route. Oh, yeah, went for the interception and just kind of took him out of the play, and right there, Stephen Bush just was off to the races and then gets a touchdown. And now Florida, momentum firmly in their pocket going into the half. We'll see if Jacksonville can maybe strike back in the short time they have until halftime.
We'll see indeed as this extra point is up. Words to the right, but it's good. And Florida, after putting up only 3 points for a lot of the first half, finally retakes the lead 10-7 with under a minute to go. And as we, before we go to this next drive, what a one-on-one between, that was Stephen Bush, and I believe the safety on that play was Tigger Clay. That one-on-one won eventually by Stephen Bush, but Tigger Clay was just on his hip the whole time until he wasn't. So
absolutely,
other way.
And then the wheels just took him away.
I know. I think it was that when he run and shifted to the corner at the go against the go. Tigger Clay was there, and then they shifted left, and he was gone. Well, Jacksonville isn't gone yet. They got a minute left in this first half. We'll see if they push for points or if they settle for 7. Bruin finally takes the ball. Bruin will look deep. Oh, he tries to find Jim Copeland for another target to Jim Copeland, but I don't think Copeland was even looking the way of the ball.
Yeah, it just looked like Big Jim just didn't quite have an eye on it. Looked like maybe that A.J. Bruin threw it just a little too early, didn't give Big Jim a chance to get his head around.
Yes, if in your chat and keeping track before this drive, that was indeed the third kickoff that hit the crossbars. As this pass by Bruin for 2nd and 10 is incomplete. Another great defensive effort by Florida on that one, as the intended target, Kingston Ellington, was hit before he could come down with the catch.
The defense has been playing great coverage against Kingston Ellington. Really haven't seen him get a completion his way all day, I don't believe.
So with trips bunched to the right, a start to the left, Bruin, will roll to the left, and we'll find a man deep. I believe that was Kingston Ellington, and that will be their first timeout of the first half. Wow, what a nice find by Bruin.
Absolutely. After 3 times targeting had failed, the 4th time's a charm to Kingston Ellington, gets that big first down, and now Jacksonville can continue to keep this drive alive.
Kingston Ellington last week also had 1 touchdown. Not a stranger to big plays, but that play was no big play. It went nowhere. Nobody was in the vicinity of that pass. Was it, Wade, did you see coverage, or was it pressure coming in from the front?
Yeah, it looked like maybe a little coverage and pressure, and it looked like just kind of a bad incompletion just to Talon Steele right there.
2nd and 10. They got 40 seconds left in the clock. OJ Bruin will dump the ball middle. It's a 9-yard gain, and they will call their second timeout.
Really threaded the needle right there, because there were 2 Florida defenders right in the area, but great pass by OJ Bruin to put it where only the receiver could catch it, and that picked up almost enough for the first down.
It looks like Jacksonville, are they settling for the score as they bring out a running offense? But no, in fact, it's a screen to OJ, not to OJ. It's a screen to Vicarian. Vicarian gets some blocks in front of him, but will elect to run out of bounds and stop the clock at 33.
Yeah, pretty good play call right there. You know, you come out in a heavy formation where everyone in the stadium's thinking run, and then you get a little screen pass and pick up the first down and get out of bounds. So great play call.
Everyone, including me, was fooled on that play, as OJ Bruin will roll out 1 second to that left, really liking that play. And why not? He finds a man. That is enough to, well, they're not calling it a timeout. I think they might have 1 timeout left. They do, but they will run their quick offense. Oh, and in fact, it was spiked there. They took their time on that spike.
Yeah, wanted to save the timeout, see if they can get a few more yards, maybe pick up something inside the sticks, and really, if they can keep this going, maybe get a timeout closer to the goal line. We'll see if they can try to punch it in.
We'll definitely see, as out of splits, we'll see if OG Bruin can put points on the board, or will they have to rely on the kicking power of Jordan Bradshaw. Bruin will step back, will look deep. Oh, that could have been intercepted, and that could have been a pick 6.
And right there, Florida was absolutely reading that out route. David Gears right there had the, medium out, and as soon as that cut happened, the Florida defender was right there, like a fly on stink, and right there covered it, and no completion right there on that play.
Well, that fly on stink was Ryan Davidson with a nice deflection. Ryan Davidson perhaps affected that play, as that play turns into an incompletion, 4th and 10. That will force the field goal. But Jacksonville, in just under a minute, able to force themselves to a position of, well, I think they're going to have to take the field goal here. So credit to this offense driving down. Oh, wait, look at this. 4th and 10. Are they really going for it?
Let's see. Hey.
Oh, they're going for 4th and 10. What is happening? This is the first time I've seen such a decision. 4th and 10. And that's the second quarter, despite they could have gotten 3.
Yeah, and if they get the 3, they tie it up. So I don't know, why would you just try? I mean, maybe catch them off guard, but I mean, they have the timeout. What was Jacksonville's what was the decision right there? It just leaves me wondering, because I mean, they had a chance to just put 3 on easy.
I'm gonna want a post-game conference with Frank Gooden, the coach, and what was the decision there? Florida has 7 seconds left in that short pass. Will stop the clock. And that was a nice catch by Ron Haynes. But that play, that decision is still on my mind. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite the end to the first half. Boy, we see the nice stadium of the eye. What a first half, Wade. These two teams have been at each other's necks since season 10. And even in this game, they have been at each other's necks. What are the highlights you've seen so far this evening?
So for me, for one thing, it was the 2 sacks by the secondary of Jacksonville. I mean, Nathan Nur got two sacks that you just don't see very often from a secondary, and then the interceptions by Ron Cochran. And so Jacksonville's really been able to hang out within reach, but then they get down to within striking distance of the goal, and then they, for some reason, on 4th and 10, go for just a run up the gut, leaving us scratching our heads because they either pass it or go for the field goal. I mean, just a head scratcher. But really, Florida continues to stay ahead, which came late. So we'll see if Florida can keep this momentum, especially with that turnover on downs by Jacksonville inside the 20-yard line. So really, Jacksonville has to do something different than what we saw on that last play. But Florida has to maintain just the aggression that we've seen and continue to just chip away.
Jacksonville will indeed try to correct and reverse whatever mental mistake happened there. They're going to start the second half at their 27-yard line. Speaking of first half performances so far, OJ Bruin, 8 for 19. That is only good for under 50% in the evening. So Florida really having his number against his passing game. He does have 1 touchdown to add to the score, but it is his only touchdown. It's the team's only touchdown, only score so far. OG Bruin would like to turn things and shake things up for the better. We'll see how they shake things up. So 1st and 10. That is Hunter Weston moving from left to right, bringing with him as a reply Ryan Davidson, who had 1 pass deflection. But here comes the here comes the play to Sean Sanders. He gets the handoff, but doing nothing. It's only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, right there. It looked like Adrian Blaine was there. She was right there to stop the play for only a 1-yard gain, but Florida's defense was ready for it, and they got the stop.
Sean Sanders also had 33 yards, but Carrion with 36. So these two, very balanced offense in terms of who gets the yardage, as that is, I believe, a Carrion in the backfield providing extra protection. And the deflection by one man, and then the potential interception. And we see right there, Adrian Carroll with the initial deflection. He climbed the ladder for that one.
Yeah, and then I thought the defender falling down might have, catch it as well, but didn't, and now it forces a 3rd and 9, and Jacksonville, struck out on the first 2 plays, and we'll see if they can get a home run right here on the 3rd down.
They are lined up for a potential home run with 3 bunched on the right. And that deep pass is no good as Florida once again holds in back-to-back plays. Connor Weston, 4th target to him, will not get the reception this time.
Yeah, just not happening. There's just too many Florida defenders in that area, and it forces that incompletion. But Jacksonville just couldn't get it done on that last drive of the second half, and then on the first drive of the last drive of the first half, and then first drive of the second half, they just couldn't get it done. So we'll see if Florida can really continue this momentum.
Ladies and gentlemen, now available, free to download, you can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at goretroid.com, search SFL, and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Florida will start their first drive off this half at their 33-yard line. So here comes Cochran. We'll throw it shallow. We'll throw it short. That is a 7-yard gain, which is still a decent amount of gain. EJ Minson brings it home.
Yeah, EJ Minson had a little short underneath route, it looked like. Caught it, kind of falling down, but got enough on the roll to pick up 7 on the play, and now sitting pretty with the 2nd and short.
And our statisticians indicate that was, in fact, the first catch of EJ out of 3 receptions. Speaking of 3, here comes Bullet Beletsky. Mr. 3-3 will get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So good tackle right there. That was Roy Towers in the TFL.
And that was fantastic defense by Jacksonville to really blow up the line and not give Bullet Beletsky anywhere to run. Just couldn't go anywhere.
3rd and 5. Still inside their half of the field. Here comes the pass to Beletsky. Oh, will he get there? Nathan there, unable to stop Beletsky, but Beletsky is going. Beletsky is going beat. Oh, finally, Beletsky gets brought down. That's Roy Towers once again having to be the man to tackle him. I mean, if you had to call your cornerback of all people all the way from the other side of the field to make the tackle, you know that you have a beast in your hands.
Absolutely. And right there, Bullet just took off and tiptoed down the line, kept running, and then, like you mentioned, the cornerback from the other side of the field just hightails it all the way over there, brings him down, stops what was looking to be a sure touchdown.
Here they go again. Florida flipping the side of the field in one play. Care of Beletsky, and he does it once again. He breaks another tackle. One man to beat. Not enough to beat him to the end zone as Beletsky puts 6 on the board.
And actually, I believe that was the backup running back on that play that got the touchdown.
Oh, you're right.
Looked like got bottled up in the backfield, but did enough right there to break the tackle. Just squirted out right there, break that tackle, and then was on the race. But it looked like Taquan Hale right there almost got to him, but just couldn't quite catch up. But wow, what a play by Florida for the backup to get in there and get in the end zone.
And the backup literally standing in the shoes of Beletsky, pulling off some moves by Beletsky, and or another theory is Beletsky just poured his power telepathically to the backup. But boy, whatever the case, they made a huge play in the Wade. That is quite an incredible turn of events for Florida.
Absolutely. It looked like Jacksonville was hanging around a little bit. We'll see if, they can obviously reply right here on their own drive, but Florida really, with the backup in, getting that hefty gain right there, getting the touchdown. So Florida looking like momentum firmly in their side.
And so finally, Jacksonville will get the ball once again at the 24-yard line. Thank you to everyone joining us in chat. Roscoe Jenkins, Minson Mine, I believe that's EJ Minson, Guy Clausen in chat, Think Outside the Box in the chat, everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. It's a very well fought out matchup. At some point in this game, Jacksonville holding the lead for a majority of the game, 7-3, but in a hurry. Look at Florida, they scored 10 unanswered back-to-back points. Jacksonville this time will have a chance to put points, another chance. You've had so many chances, but Bruin has just been brought to ruin as this front line of Florida just got home to him. That's sack number 3, I believe, Wade.
Yeah, I believe you're right. And now it looks like Florida just continues to roll. Just the storm is brewing, and Jacksonville is on the receiving end of quite a bit of just outstanding work by Florida's defense and offense, but Jacksonville has to come together, come up with a plan to maybe just keep chipping away at this lead.
That was Andrew Franson, the safety, so they sent a safety blitz on that play, and boy did it pay wonders. It paid dividends for Florida as it's 2nd and 16. The second and very long for Jacksonville. And, this pass, it's a completion for 4 yards, but Wade, you find yourself in a situation where you're 2nd and centuries, and the pressure's on you to make a big play to come up with your loss in a sack.
Yeah, and you think sometime they'd have to go downfield because they've been doing a lot of short stuff, but it's just not getting them down the field.
They tried it there once again. They tried to go downfield quick. They tried to pull out a deep pass. OJ Bruin rolls out. And how many times have we seen OJ Bruin roll out to one side, but then, a defender is already almost there to meet him. If not for a blocker, he would have been sacked. 4th and 12, here comes a punt.
Yeah, like you said, he's been rolling out, and there have been defenders in the area, almost like he's rolling out into them. But yeah, luckily a few blockers have been there, but it hasn't always been like that. So they have to really get something and be smart.
And a nice return right there by Florida all the way to their 40-yard line. About a 10-yard return after the catch right here. So they caught it at the 30, ranges it out to the 38. And Florida is starting to take over this game. Jacksonville, how can they answer, Wade?
They've got to just make Ron Cochran uncomfortable. They were doing it earlier in the game, and we saw the interception, a few sacks here and there, but if they can make him uncomfortable, they will have a much better result.
Well, they got to force the ball to Ron Cochran first. Ron Cochran will definitely get the ball and decide to pass. And who is it to? Bilecki. Because Bilecki was left wide open. He had an entire lane. He could have fit an entire truck down that lane. He picks up 8 yards.
Yeah, and that's one other thing that I forgot to mention was Bullet Bilecki. He hasn't really hurt him on the rushing game, but that receiving game, 91 yards so far today already.
Oof. A lot of yards by Bilecki on the passing game. Tries to rumble for a first down. He does. Bilecki gets tackled, but enough for a first down.
And really, it's been the Bullet Bilecki show today. Because Ron Cochran's thrown to him so many times. Really, it's been some screens, some swings, but really, he's just made the most out of every touch that he's had.
He's had over 130, 140 yards rushing and catching. As he gets another handoff, he stays down, but he is good. He gets 2 yards, and it's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and right there, only 2 yards, but it's just not been the day for him on the ground, but through the air, been really where he's hurt him. But on that touchdown, it was the backup that got the big chunk, but we'll see what they can do in the twin set.
Out of that set, Ron Cochran will try to find his men, and he does once again, keeping up his high completion rate. 16 attempts, 13 completions, and he finds, I believe that was E.J. Minson once again with his 2nd catch of the day.
Yeah, I do believe it was E.J. Minson right there. 2nd catch of the day on 4 targets, and now got the first down, and Ron Cochran continues to just chug away. Like you mentioned, 14 of 17 today, 82% completion percentage, just phenomenal.
Playing very clean, as he has been all season in 4 games. Has one of the best completion rates, I believe, number 2. Oh, it's a very solid position in completion rate. And he will take the ball once again. And that's a guy, well, it's not Bilecki, but the passes like that to J.W. Doyle is a sure pass, it's a sure completion. And he makes sure to get a first down as well.
Yeah, and he had a head of steam behind him. I thought maybe he had a little bit to go, caught the swing pass, maybe a little wheel route, kept going. Then it was just the safety on the look, brought him down, and they continue to drive. They continue to kind of use everyone that they can, and they've really exploited the left side in the middle of the field.
J.W. Doyle comes down with a 26-yard catch. He will get the ball once again. Will he get there? No, he almost gets there. And I like the play call there, Wade. Doyle, he makes a huge catch. Feed him the ball. Reward him with what could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, let him eat. He just got you a huge chunk like you mentioned. Why not let him get a touch at the goal line, try to punch it in?
Now you're just a 1-yard line. This is inevitable. It could go to Bilecki, who I believe is there dotting the I of the I formation, as Doyle will move from left to right of that I. Here's the handoff. Here's Bilecki. He's home. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, only needed 1 yard, but smelled pay dirt and would not be stopped, got in there, and now they are even more comfortably ahead, looking like they're going to be up 17, possibly pinning the extra point. But wow, what a drive. Just really focused on both the running, the backs back there, the fullback and the running back, but Boletsky punches it in. But really, we saw J.W. Doyle get close to the end zone right there, but really great drive by Florida, and Jacksonville they really need to get something going to get back in this ball game.
Absolutely, and with that score, and with this extra point, which is up and which is good, Florida take a very commanding lead, 24-7. That is a 17-point advantage already in the 3-score brawl. We see the players on the bench looking a little disheartened. There is about 1.5 quarter left to play, Wade, but it is looking rough.
Yeah. You never like to see one of the teams get their head down, because when you see that, it can definitely snowball out of control.
So once again, Jacksonville, after so many chances to turn the ball around. Oh, will they get it here? They will be able to return it all the way to the 32-yard line. And before we see this drive, let's look at the update from the other game.
Thank you, Mark. Portland has been shut out in the second half after a 28-6 advantage at the break. B. Robo breaks off a tackle and gets a touchdown for San Diego, 28-20, but Portland is driving, trying to ice this one. Back to you in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, just as Portland have been shut out, so is Jacksonville. Scoreless in the second quarter, scoreless in the third quarter, with only 3 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll see if they can put points on the board. 1st and 10 and just 32, 3 minutes left. Bruin, a deep step back, a nice pass. This time it's caught, and sometimes when you look at those passes by Bruin, you kind of have a little fear that maybe it's an incompletion, but wait, this time it's a completion.
Yeah, and it looked like he had multiple people open right there. Targeted Big Jim Copeland Jr., caught it, and almost picked up the first down, about 9.5 yards, but now they're in a heavy set, looking like they might run it.
And it will be to Vakarian, and oh, it's a flag. Oh, I didn't see what could have happened there. Oh, it's a face mask. And a huge loss, a huge error by the defense of Florida, giving Jacksonville... Wait, that looked like that play could have been stopped without a first down, but instead it's a first down.
Absolutely. It looked like they had him contained, but the penalty makes it a first down.
It hurts a lot. Thankfully, they have that 17-point cushion. Jacksonville have yet to take advantage of their chances. They will get a handoff to Sanders, who picks up 4 yards for his team. And he is averaging this game at 3.7. Mathematically, that'll be good enough for a first down every time he gets the ball. But he has been not getting the ball a lot. Only 10 attempts in this evening.
Yeah, and when you can run off 3.7, you're getting a first down if you run it 3 times in a row, and now they got a big chunk.
But here comes Vakarian, speaking of big chunks in a row. Vakarian, that's about a 15-plus yard run by him. Vakarian, who also dons a 33 on his chest. Like Bullet Belusky and the other team says, hey, I can do the same huge runs like you do. And I mean, how about the blocks as well? Though he needed those key blocks in the beginning so that he could just win a 1-on-1, and he does before being tackled.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it. Got the block, and then that set up the 1-on-1 against a defensive back, which I will take a giant running back against a corner any day of the week.
That was about a 21-yard run, according to our statisticians, as Sanders, once again, 5-yard gain. You see right there what we were talking about. It's the running average is pretty solid for a first down every time. It's just that O.J. Bruin has had quite a bit of passing mishaps every now and then. It is 2nd and 5. They are now in the I formation, a very heavy set. Handoff to Vakarian. Vakarian unable to break 2 tackles in a row, but will pick up about 3 yards.
Yeah, and really just I love how they kind of mix up both these running backs, both showing something different. Sean Sanders really runs hard and really picks up extra after contact, even when he's being tackled. And Vakarian's just a load where you have to get multiple people just to bring him down.
Well, here comes that strong power ride. 3 back in the backfield. And a lot of blocks for Vakarian. Vakarian, that's the key. That was the one tackle in the backfield that slowed him down enough for tacklers to get to him, and that will stop the drive in its tracks.
Right there, it looked like Talon Steele was out there, couldn't seal Thunderman from getting the tackle, and there it was, brought him down, forces the 4th down, and now they've got to settle for a field goal.
It's a 38-yard attempt for Jacksonville. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and finally, after what feels like an eternity, they put points on the board. Once again, they're going to cut into this lead and make the score 10-24. The drive looked very promising way. They're going to come away with points, and regardless of how they scored, they turned a 3-point lead, a 3-score lead, into a 2-score lead.
Absolutely, you said it. That they'll take any points they can at this point, and it cuts it down to a two possession game. And if they can, get a stop, get a couple more points on the board, hey, they are continuing to play. And Jacksonville hasn't given up. They continue to work hard. They've just got to, get back in the rhythm of it and get something going, because they got a little down, and maybe this field goal kickstarts something in them, and they get, a couple scoring drives here.
That said, the defense needs to find an answer, because Florida, 3 drives in a row, if we don't include the drive that ended the first half, 3 drives in a row have been scoring drives. And you see right there, that's the reason why out of 1st and 10, Beletsky powering through the middle, and he almost seems inevitable to get the ball.
Yeah, you said it. Either on the run game or the pass game, he has, almost at the century mark right now in passing. So,
and that will end the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville down 10-24, trying to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see how this turns out after this.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Curtis, for reading our rights. And Beletsky out of 2nd down. Oh, he breaks one man's heart. Wait, that's not Beletsky. That's Doyle. He's the one breaking hearts out here in the field. I forgot the neck roll right there, and he comes away with a huge... Oh, boy, what a hit. What a broken tackle and stiff arm.
Yeah, he just trucked the defender right there. And now it looks like J.W. Boyle has over 5,000 yards rushing for a career. And, this game puts him over. So, what a career for him, and continues to go in this game.
So an absolutely stellar career by Doyle, who has been a part of this league quite a long time. Beletsky will get a catch for a 4-yard gain. If you listen to the music at the start of this quarter, well, that's brought to you by APM Music, which is unrivaled music that bring your stories to life, inspiring every production of the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find out the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com. Oh, Beletsky, a one defender, tried to jump him from his back, but he breaks that, finds a little room. It's only about a 3-yard gain, but making some plays behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah,
and really, Jacksonville needs to do more of that if they can get this win, because they've got to get some more stops.
Beletsky's alone at the backfield with Cochran under center. Cochran will give it back to Beletsky. Oh, Beletsky, they couldn't stop him. It was 3rd and 3. They couldn't stop a 3-yard gain, and that was enough for Beletsky. Gets another 1st down for them.
Yeah, they get another play by Beletsky, another 1st down. He's just been a monster today, and really just doing work through both the run and the pass.
1st and 10 8.5 minutes left in this game. If Jacksonville has any dreams of coming back here, a stop in this drive is crucial. Here comes the Florida. Florida under eye. Florida, deep step back by Ron. Whoa, what a one-handed catch. What a one-handed catch right there. That was Art Vandelay with an incredible catch. We haven't seen so many catches like that this evening. I think just by that one-handed catch alone, it's a candidate for nice hands catch of the game. We'll see if at any point we get a better catch. But boy, that was incredible. Here comes 2nd and 3. Florida off that eye. Hand off to not to Vicarian. That's it's Bileski right there. He gets tackled for only a 1-yard gain. By the way, that nice hands catch of the game, that's brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. 3rd and 1. That's another I formation, and Wade, I'd be surprised if this ball did not get handed off to Vicarian, who's right there in the backfield. Dotting the eye. He will. It's not Bileski. It's Doyle. Doyle breaks one man down. Doyle keeps running. Oh, he finally goes out of bounds, but Doyle, he's showing the power in that left arm as he brings down one defender to the turf.
Yeah, he really has a rock in his hand because he can just knock you out with that thing. He just continues to just truck along, getting more yards, and finally goes out of bounds and stops the hurt on Jacksonville's defense. But Florida really scrapping together a drive that, they continue to just dominate this game on the ground, because that's, 5 carries, 43 yards for Doyle. So, even though he's not the bullet, I mean, he's done phenomenal today.
Yeah, to piggyback off what you just said, he may not be the bullet, but he seems like a bully out there bringing down, would-be tacklers left and right. But now it's Bileski getting the handoff. He will be tackled for a very rare loss, as so far in this drive, I've seen about it's been a 9-play drive. 6 plays of those 9 have been on the ground. This run game is really eating into the clock. Jacksonville need to get off the field.
Yeah, I could have swore we just started this quarter.
I could have sworn the same as well. Cochran will keep the chains moving. It's Bileski once again. Will get a very short dump off, and that is, he has enough room for a 4-yard gain. They keep going downfield.
Yeah, and they continue to target Bullet Bileski, and I mean, it's worked all day. I mean, he's got 20 attempts, 9 receptions for 89 yards, and so he has absolutely been a force today.
And out of the spread, it's not a handoff. I got faked out, and boy, that's a huge catch. Oh, of course it's gonna be him. Of course. Oh, what a catch. Art Bentley. Did he get the nice hands catch earlier? I think this might be another one for him. How about back-to-back one-handed catch by this beast of a human being?
Yeah, absolutely. You said it. I was about to say, I think he might have, one-upped his previous, great catch, and right there, another one-hander.
With one hand, he's delivering victory for his team. But here's a pitch to Bileski. Bileski, is trying to fight through tons of bodies right there. Jacksonville, good read to send people on that side of the formation.
Yeah, Forrest Dalton got there first, and Logan Gardner cleaned it up and brought him down for the loss. And now it's, a even less manageable 2nd and goal, but still, they are very close. Looks like 8 yards to go.
Back-to-back plays against Bileski for losses. And that pass down the middle for Ron Cochran is incomplete. The defense right there stayed home, stayed disciplined, and did not allow any big play to happen. It's 3rd and goal.
They did. They had to stay tight because Ron Haynes looked like he was getting back there trying to sneak behind the coverage, but was not able to. And Jacksonville's defense stayed strong and got the stop.
That was almost an interception as well. Off of the foot. That could have turned things around in a blink. But instead, Florida sees himself in 3rd and goal as Cochran in shotgun had nobody behind him. Oh, it's a flag. Oh, no. Don't tell me it's a PI. It is. Jacksonville just needed to stay disciplined and get off the field. They instead gift Florida a free first down.
Yeah, and you just can't have that. I mean, yeah, they were really all over him, even though it was a great play by Ron Cochran to just throw it into the traffic and hope something happens, and something did. They got a, pass interference, and now they've got a 1st and goal from the 1. So great play by Florida, and Jacksonville just not helping themselves at all.
Frustrations rise as the defense getting tired as well. First and goal, the handoff, the run, and Biletsky pouring on the points, pouring on the touchdowns. It's another 6 for him.
Yeah, he broke the Taquan Hale attempted tackle and just blew through it and just almost got hit again right there, but, gets the touchdown. That's what they needed. Bullock gets one more touchdown for his resume, and now Florida continues to just put the foot on the gas and pull away, and now it's looking like almost another after this point after a 3-score game again.
And after this kickoff or this extra point, what a very gut-wrenching drive. Look at that time, 5.5 minutes in one drive, 15 plays. That's incredible. If you're in the sidelines and you're Jacksonville, Wade, that entire drive just took the life out of you.
Absolutely. It's heartbreaking because now they have to basically just rip up their script, their game plan, and just go with something completely different, because that changes the game. There's less than 5 minutes left and you've got to get 3 touchdowns. It's possible. It's very doable in the SFL, but hey, you've got to do something different than what you've done today because it's only got you 10 points.
So 4 scoring drives in a row for Florida. Jacksonville so far with 1 scoring drive prior to this. They're in bunch right formation. Oh, that rollout finally pays dividends. Well, against them, as Florida gets a sack out of that formation, they're going to go in their no-huddle offense. They're going to roll out again. Bruin, throws, and it's an incompletion. And that sack marks the 4th sack of the evening against Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it looked like a defensive back again on the sack. We've seen, I think that's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a defensive back get the sack today.
It just goes to show you the Florida game planning. They expected some amount of rollout, some amount of being open with no protection, and you could send a safety downfield or upfield to Bruin. So Bruin rolling out again. That pass is thrown to double coverage, in fact, and that will force 4th and 15. And are we in a situation where you do the 4th down?
Not here. I mean, you're they're doing it, but I get you're back against the wall, but like you're on your own 15-yard line.
And isn't that you gotta make it to have any inkling of a chance that even if you do, you gotta make things happen. But here we go. 4th and 15. OJ Bruin will try to throw deep. That pass is an interception. Is it the pick 6? It is. Oh, is it? Is it? It is. It's the pick 6. Oh my goodness. OJ Bruin threw a touchdown to the wrong direction.
Yeah, JJ Bailey caught that and was off to the races and broke 2 tackles from the offense right here. It looked like the running back, the offensive lineman gets one, broke it. Oh, another one, and then another one. Wow, just great running ability by JJ Bailey on the takeaway to get that pick 6. And now Florida just putting their foot on the gas, pulling away. They're miles away at this point.
Absolutely. Talking about, storm puns and storm reference. Well, the eye of the storm has way gone past where it was scheduled to be. Jacksonville have missed the party. Now down 10-38. What a way Florida just turned up the heat, putting the game seemingly out of reach.
Yeah, and Jacksonville. I'm guessing we're going to see a hefty pass play. So Florida can maintain coverage. They have a great chance to get a victory because if Jacksonville just has to throw, we haven't really seen them get much going through the air. But they've had a little bit of success, but it's mainly been in the run game. But clock's against them. But we'll see if they continue to throw it.
And you're right about a little bit of a success. They've only had a little bit of success. As another pass is overthrown, I think they're trying to force their rollout. In the meantime, we're going to get a game update. How is Portland doing there, Cam?
Thank you, Mark. Portland does not have an offensive touchdown in the second half, but they got a Scott Johnson kick return touchdown. Portland's fumbled twice in the fourth quarter, and now we are seconds away from going to overtime, and that is now official. We are in OT in San Diego. Back to you in Florida.
Thank you very much. And folks, if you're joining us this evening and you're looking at not quite as close a game, well, you got to credit the defense of Florida, who have been on fire against Jacksonville's passing defense or offense. Although, back-to-back plays, O.J. Bruin able to string 2 solid passes. This time, that streak will finally be broken as that pass is incomplete, intended for David Gears.
Yeah, they targeted David Gears right there. O.J. Bruin did, but incomplete. The previous 2 plays worked to perfection, got the 2 first downs, but now they have to continue this drive, try to really put points on the board in a hurry.
Oh, 2nd and 10, it's 4 minutes. In any game, 4 minutes is a lot. But he throws another interception, and that is very painful to watch. It is hit another pick 6. It quite literally is. Oh my goodness, Ryan Davidson. You're at home court, so all the flowers to you, Davidson. What a pick 6. And if you're Jacksonville, your heart must be in shambles.
Oh, yeah, and I know the offensive coordinator for Jacksonville's probably got no more. If he had any hair to start with, it's gone by now. So, no more fingernails, no more hair. It's just been a day to forget for Jacksonville's offense. The defense, their defense has done pretty decent, but their offense just has not been able to get anything going in the second half, and they've been the unfortunate recipient of 2 pick 6s by Florida's defense.
And with this extra point and that pick 6, Wade, well, I'd like to talk about some streaks, because Florida has been on an incredible streak of 5. Well, if this game holds, and it is almost surely to hold, they will be on the streak of 5 wins. But how about the streak of 5 40-plus point wins? What an offensive outburst this team has had this season. 21 is, finally another kickoff return. That will be a touchback. So many this game already, but Wade, this offense of Florida that they've been putting out the field week by week have been incredible.
Oh, yeah, and they're already in mid-season form, starting the season. Like you said, this is just another notch in the 40-point game for them, and it's just one more on their record sheet, and it's just they have been an absolute juggernaut this season, just picking up huge wins, and their defense has been playing really well. Their offense has, but though, like you mentioned, has just been absolutely on another level.
Amongst their wins this season is against the Baltimore Vultures, who were in a 3-2 record currently before this week. The one solid win there. They did get 3 wins from 3 underperforming teams record-wise. And oh boy, what a sack. And this defense is unrelenting. A 35-point deficit. We're going to keep pouring on the hot oil. Here comes O.J. Bruin. A deep pass off of no huddle. Finally finds the man there. They're going to keep going, Wade.
Yep, and I don't see why not. It's worked right there, and we'll see if they can continue.
Oh, it's another interception. And no, Wade, it's back-to-back interceptions. And if that was another pick 6, I think if I'm the coach, I would just walk off the stage.
Yeah, no, throw in the towel. I mean, if that happened, but now, hey, they have to continue to fight and keep a respectable score on the board. To me, I think Florida just kind of runs it out, tries to, limit any potential injuries that could happen. But hey, they've got the game what looks like firmly in hand, but they're going to continue just to kind of close this game out.
Gillespie, another tackle for loss. Silver lining perhaps for Jacksonville is that against Bullet Boletsky, if we delete, the sacks against, I say sacks against Ron Cochran, they barely got the sack. They only have 2, but in terms of TFLs, they have 6 tackles for losses against Bullet Boletsky.
Yeah, no, they did a really outstanding job stopping Bullet Boletsky on the ground. Now, in the receiving game, he really lit him up. But J.W. Doyle as well did pretty good work on the ground.
A lot of damage just from those 2 players alone. On the air, they combined for 129. On the ground, they combined for 99. As here comes Boletsky again. He is just running. He is just rumbling. He's having a good time. It's a 35 advantage, but he's out here to, I wouldn't like to say padding stats because that doesn't seem too kind, but he's just being competitive out there.
Absolutely. I think it's more just really wants to establish dominance and get this win, wants to shut it out himself. I mean, shut the game down and really, get this win on his own back because, I mean, he has been everywhere today. 2 touchdowns on the ground and really just been phenomenal, just every facet of the game.
Absolutely phenomenal all game. 3rd and 3 with 2 minutes left. As the clock is going down, they might take the 2-minute warning. No, they will do one more play. Boletsky will pick up a 1 yard, and the defense will in fact force a 4th down.
Yeah, and if we could have seen that more from Jacksonville, this game might have turned out differently.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 2-minute warning. You've been joining us for 3 quarters and 8 minutes, and with Florida going for the field goal, they're going to put this game out of reach if it wasn't already. I feel like this was out of reach 2 interceptions ago, but we'll see. This kick up here, the kick is up and the kick is good. The kick is no good. What? A surprise here.
Yeah, it looked like he sailed it wide right. It looked like just kept going. No, stop going. Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, just didn't send it good. And now Jacksonville gets the ball back. But, I just really, under 2 minutes left, have to get 35, 5 touchdowns. I think it's comfortable to say it's a little out of reach, but hey, Jacksonville had some stuff like we mentioned that they did well. They limited Bullet and their offensive run game really came to play. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think how the game turned out didn't. Oh, there's an interception by O.J. Bruin. Out of that play, 4 interceptions in a row, at least 4 drives resulting in interceptions. Florida, after this game, if they weren't on top yet of interceptions generated, they're just going to climb the ranks of amount of interceptions on this game alone.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And really, the interceptions just aren't indicative of how the game went because, O.J. Bruin had a pretty decent day up until, the 4th quarter when they abandoned completely the run and just went to the pass. And then it's at that point, Florida knows what they're doing and can just kind of sit back there and look for opportunities to pick the ball off. And they did and got 2 pick sixes out of it.
Yeah, and you took my words right out of my mouth as Jacksonville will start calling their timeouts. The way the game turned out, they had the lead early on. And, right way you saw what I saw is that when they had the lead 7-3, they were relying on the ground game. And boy, were they good at handing the ball to Vakarian. Yeah, amongst other things, Vakarian was a 1st down machine, right? They'll hand the ball off to Sanders, getting 5-6 yards every so often. But at the deficit, they found themselves with Boletsky powers for a first down and more. Oh, Bileski, how many tackles are you going to break? He was almost there for a touchdown. As I was talking about how good Florida has been, Bileski says, stop that talk. Look at me, because I'm about to put things way even more out of reach.
Yeah, and they just couldn't bring him down right there. They had held him, through this game, and that play right there, picks up a huge chunk, and now almost at the century mark. But yeah, they do I think the smart thing, kneeling it. Yeah, because they've got the game firmly in hand. No need to, risk an injury.
Absolutely. With the final timeout called, that is pretty much the game. Here we see the final kneel down of the game. That was a 28-yard run here off for statistician Ron Haynes. Thank you very much, Ron. That 28-yard run is setting up this final kneel down, and with 1.5 minutes left, and this win imminent for Florida. After this win, this would be Florida's eighth win in a row. Talking about streaks once again. This will be their 6th win in a row. Their longest streak since about season 11, where they had a streak of 24 straight home games. Sorry, not season 11, but January of last year. They had a string of 24 straight home games, and they're once again on track to winning a lot of home games. Ron Cochran with not yet the final, or it will be the final kneel down, or they do have one more. My math is coming off the wheels, Wade.
Yeah, it looks like they might kick a field goal here, but I mean, they're only going to leave Jacksonville with 7 seconds left. So yeah, no, they are firmly in control. Just need, the one missed field goal, but it didn't hurt them, and they come away with the victory tonight, unless Jacksonville can get 6 touchdowns in 14 seconds, which, I mean, news to me if it happens. But great day today for Florida, and like you said, with the streak of home wins, they just play just untouchable at home, and it's evidenced by how well they do.
So Jacksonville unable to come away with a comeback. They had the lead, they lost the lead, and they couldn't get control back. You know who came back down 28-3? Well, it's the San Diego Mavericks from the other game. That game is finally over. San Diego winning in overtime 41-38. The update on that game is Portland give up a 28-3 lead. Boy, what a very familiar scoreline to give up. And we'll watch as the final few seconds of this game transpire. Here comes Bruin, really liking that rollout play to their left. That is a completion, but they got only 7 seconds left. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. They're not even going to get the play. They're going to get a spike off.
Man, Bruin really wants to put some more points out there. Maybe, Hopefully it's not for Florida, though.
Absolutely. We'll see. I mean, 4 straight drives turning interceptions, 2 of which were pick 6. Bruin, you better make this count. So here comes OJ. I believe that is Vicarian right next to him. Here comes Bruin. Deep step back. Deep step back, but he couldn't find anyone out there. And as the clock hits 0, that is the ball game. What a dominating win by Florida. The score is 48-10. And in this matchup, facing each other for the 18th time, Florida once again getting the last laugh. Wade, tell me about what you like from this game, and then tell me who your player of the game is.
Well, I loved seeing Florida just continue just to dominate. And again, evidenced by scoring 48 points. And it looks like 38 of those points were in the second half alone. Wow. And meanwhile, Jacksonville only got 3 points that entire second half. And I mean, so that's, to me, that's the biggest story of this game. Jacksonville just could not stop Florida in the second half. And Florida just built up a huge, momentum shift right before that first half ended with stopping it on 4th down, and Florida just dominated. Really, Charlie Bullet Bolesky is my player of the day today for me. I mean, over a century mark on the ground, near the century mark, through the air. I mean, shoot, I can't think of anybody. I mean, Ron Cochran, 20 of 24, that is phenomenal. But I mean, to me, Bolesky just hands down player of the day.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. The one play, it's at the very end where points did no longer matter. He basically broke the tackles of every single defender. But
yeah,
that being said, thank you for joining us. Joining me, Mark Lopez, Wade Phillips, Mike Analyst. Thank you very much for joining me, Wade. Our statisticians, Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colson and Cameron Irvine. That is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us and have a good night and goodbye.